James Blacklaw's JB Commercial Finance here. It's been a tough 12 months for the retail environment. A lot of big players have struggled, some have gone out of business, and the talk around the Christmas period is of the lack of footfall on the high street, the continued growth in online retailing, and the fact that people aren't getting out there and spending their hard-earned cash face to face with people. Now this can have a massive knock-on effect and a massive impact on the economy. Most money is still spent on the high street, believe it or not, certainly more than online. And of course, the online retailers fill properties, they give atmosphere and ambience to city centre. They provide jobs, of course, especially at the lower level, the entry level, minimum wage jobs, and they're an important driver with regard to the UK economy. But unfortunately, retail is in decline. Now, there are numbers of reasons for that, most of which, to be perfectly honest, are nothing that experts can't go on about, books can't be written about, etc., etc. But with regard to funding, there are still available options for them. Now, you'll see a lot of the larger retailers have really struggled with regard to repaying large loans to finance companies, private equity companies, and defaulting on bonds, etc., etc. And that's very, very distressing to hear. But a lot of this is because these companies have leveraged up their debt to levels which can't be sustained. So we heard about Toys R Us, for instance, last year, defaulting on bonds, which is why they unfortunately went into administration. And when you looked at the levels of debt these companies held to private equity firms, they're absolutely mind-blowing. They're very, very high. And anyone who looked at this from a purely economic point of view could see that these companies realistically were never going to meet these obligations. So it's not difficult to see how they got into trouble. It is more difficult to see how these situations occurred in the first place. But bringing it down to a smaller level, which is generally where I operate, if you are a retailer and you're struggling for finance, there are still opportunities out there to raise. So there may well be unsecured loans you can apply for if your trading history is strong enough. There may well be some secured loans if the debt level is slightly higher, or your trading history isn't quite so secure. But there are still options out there for retailers. There are ways you can raise money against your assets. There are ways you can raise money against the future receipts coming through cash machines, cash point terminals. So there's all sorts of things you can do to raise finance. So don't feel, if you're in retail, that everyone's against you. Your bank are likely to have turned you down, unfortunately. If you've been for a mortgage, you may well have been turned down because your profit levels aren't high enough. But still, you may have options open to you. So give us a shout. James Blacklaw's JB Commercial Finance. Please like, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel, www.jbcommercialfinance.co.uk, or get in touch with me via YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, and I hope to see you soon. Thanks a lot. Bye.